Today I'll be showing you how I made this zip pouch for my laptop. This is a very versatile bag and can be used for many things such as books, Kindles, iPads, things like that. Alright, so starting out I picked a fabric that I really liked, and then measuring my laptop I added 1 inch around each side to add a border around it. The extra 1 inch just gives you some leniency in case you have any mistakes. I just got my sewing machine back in October, so I would say I'm still probably in the beginner category, and I found this project to be very easy and doesn't take much time at all. So here, as you can see, I'm just cutting out my fabric pieces. You'll of course need the outer fabric for your bag, the inner fabric, and then the inner facing, which is the fluff that we put in between. I know in some places you can find iron-on interfacing. I, however, could not find the right weight that is also iron-on, so I just had to sew mine together. Alright, now this is going to be the outside fabric for my bag. This is the interfacing that I was talking about, and then this will be the inside of the bag. The next thing you'll need is a zipper. I chose a 16-inch zipper, which I ended up cutting. Now with your outer facing fabric, cut a 1 by 4 inch piece so that you can add it on to the end of the zip tab. You'll want to fold the zip tab in half with the good sides facing in. Open the tab and place your zipper in the middle. When folding the tab back down, you'll want to make note of where the little metal stopper is so as not to sew over that later. Next, you'll probably want to pin both sides in place so that they don't move. I usually place my pins right below the metal so that I know where it is. Now going over to your sewing machine, again keeping in mind where the little metal stopper is, you're going to want to sew a straight line across. Like I said earlier, I am still a beginner, so I did have a bit of trouble with this part, as you can tell. Alright, now after sewing a straight line, it should look like this. At this point, you can cut off the excess that hangs off of each side. Taking a ruler, I measured 1 inch from the metal tab and cut off the excess on the top. Now you're going to take your inner lining, good side facing you, and place the zipper on top. With your outer fabric and inner facing sewn together, place that good sides together. You are now going to connect these with either pins or clips and sew straight across. You may now want to switch to a zipper foot, however my sewing machine can handle the zipper. Definitely do test runs though to see what your sewing machine can handle. Since we're only sewing on half the zipper, I think it'll be okay. Like I said, you're just going to be sewing all the way down. Make sure that the zipper tab doesn't get in your way by slowly moving it down as you sew. There will become a point where the zipper tab does get in your way, so you'll just have to lift up the foot and push it past the needle. This part isn't really necessary, but I think it makes for a cleaner look. I pull the end of the zipper tab to the right as I sew, and I think it makes it look a lot better in the end. Like I said before, I am still a beginner, so I did have some difficulty with the fabric sizings matching up, so in the end I just had to trim them. Now with your inner lining, you're going to take what you have so far and place it on top of the inner lining, good side facing you. Make sure that the zipper is also facing you. Go ahead and place the inner facing and the outer fabric sewn together on top and sew across. Here I am again, pinning things in place and making sure that everything lines up properly. There's truly no worse feeling than having to pull out the seam ripper after you've already sewn most of a project. Now is the best time to check for any mistakes you may have made before you move on. So now, just how I have it shown, you want to keep the outer side of the bag and the inner side of the bag together. You'll pin these all around as you're going to start sewing around the whole border of the bag. When sewing around the border, you will be sewing over the zipper, so you want the zipper to fold in like I'm showing here. You also want to have the zipper pulled down a little bit, or else you won't be able to actually get in the bag once you've sewn around the border. You'll be leaving about a 4-inch gap in the middle of the inner lining of the bag. Without this, you won't be able to flip it inside out, so don't forget this step. Now here's the gap that we left that will help us be able to flip the bag inside out. Now flipping your bag inside out, inspect all the corners and edges and make sure that everything lines up correctly how you want it to look. Using a sharp object, I push out the corners so that they have a sharper edge. Now it's time to close up the gap. Fold the sides inwards so that they line up with the rest of the bag. I clip them in place and then sew straight across. Now it should look like this. Now you are done with sewing and you can flip your bag right side out and put your product inside. I did a little bit of trying it out, making sure that everything fit properly just how I like it. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make a laptop zip pouch. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Before sewing it shut, I just snip the corners to give them a sharper edge as well.